Hi friends, it's Mari here for Scrapbook and Cards today. I'm going to be sharing some tips and tricks today using my tri-blend markers from Spectrum Noir and Crafter's Companion. These are really great alcohol markers. You can get this type of marker here. That's the tri-blend with the bullet tip. And in this barrel, you're going to get 3 different colors, a light, medium, and dark shade of the same color. There you can see what the bullet tip is like. These are really great markers. You can also get the tri-blend brush markers, and like the tri-blend markers with the bullet tip, you get the 3 different shades of the same color, but in the brush marker, you get the brush tip. There's also another variety of these markers that's called the tri-color brush marker. And these markers actually have 3 different colors rather than 3 different shades. And these are really fun too. Love these. And again, you're going to get the 3 colors in that barrel with the brush tip. So really great options with the tri-blend markers from Crafter's Companion and Spectrum Noir. And these are all alcohol-based markers. This is another color that I happen to have on my desk from the Tri-Colors. And there you can just see I'm showing you the different colors that come in that one. I think that one's called Plumeria. But each of these are sold in sets of 24. So you get 72 different colors in those sets. I'm also going to be using the Unity Stamps Deco Foil Toner Card Fronts from ThermoWeb. And this is the Wild Garden set of card fronts. And I'm going to coordinate that with the Copper Ripples transfer sheets. And these again are also from Thermofoil. So I took that 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card front from that Wild Garden set. And I'm just running it through my Gina K Fuse machine with that Copper Ripple transfer sheet. And that's going to transfer that beautiful copper colored foil onto that toner sheet that just has that gorgeous Unity Stamps beautiful image on it. And here you can just see the results. It is so pretty. And I'm actually going to show you how you can use your alcohol markers with toner sheet images. So I'm going to start off here with this card front, and I'm going to just take those markers, my tri-blend markers. The tri-blends that I'm going to use here are the bullet tips. These are really great for getting into really small areas. Not that you can't do that with the brush, but I find I can just get into small areas better with these bullet tips. And I'm just going to go in here with the lightest color. I'm going to go over the entire area with that lightest shade. And so you can just see here what I'm doing here. This is I think this is the bright pink marker, but I do show you the different markers, the colors of the different markers with the caps there over to the left. Now I'm going in with the darkest shade to add those different little lines of shadows. And I'm going to do that same thing with each of the different areas of the pink florals that I'm going to be coloring here. So again, starting with the light, then I'll go in with the darkest shade and add the shadow areas. And once I'm done adding those two shades, so the lightest and the darkest, then I'll go in and blend it out. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of the medium shade first, and then I'll blend it out with the lightest. So you'll just see me adding, again, there the shadows in. I did just put a little bit of white cardstock in behind my card front here just to make sure that none of the color transfers onto my craft mat. And so again, here just going in with the lightest shade, adding that in, and I'm just using circular motions as I'm coloring for the most part. So just using little circles to color in each of those different areas. These markers are very forgiving. And if you're a beginner colorist, these are particularly easy because they take the guesswork out of figuring out what colors, what shades you need to go with. So you get all 3 shades in that one marker for your lights, your mediums, and your darks. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go in with the medium shade. And you'll just see me here going in and blending out that darker shade that I added the shadow in with. And here you can just see how beautifully that blends out. So really nice. You could leave it like that and have that light over on the other side. But here you can just see I'm taking that light shade and blending out that medium into the light a little bit. And then I'm leaving some of that area just with the light for the highlight. And I'll do that same process for each one of these different areas, going in with that medium, blending out the darker color, the darker shade, and then I'll go in with a lighter shade and blend out the medium. Very easy to do. So I use the light, then the dark, then the medium, and usually I'll finish with the light. And if you use that same process for your different coloring, whether you're coloring critters or people or whatever, florals, really it's a very much a fail-proof technique for using these really fantastic markers. So I am a huge fan of these markers. I think that they're a really great value. And like I said, they are sold in sets of 24. You can also get them individually depending on where you're shopping, but it is kind of fun that you can get 72 different shades of markers in one set. So now I'm going to just go ahead. I've colored in all of the different pink areas, and I'm going in now with some yellows. And I think I'm using a combination of the citrus blend and the gold yellow pen to color in the different yellow florals that I have on this beautiful image here. So you can just see I'm starting off with that lightest shade of the yellow. Actually, with this one, I started with the darkest because I'm going to shade this one with the gold yellow. So I started with the darkest shade of the citrus blend. And then actually for this one, I'm shading with the gold yellow. So you can actually combine two different markers from the same color family if you want to create your different blends. So you can just play around with them, see what works. It's kind of fun. And I also love that Spectrum Noir added individual markers into the marker family along the way, because what they did was they filled in some of the color gaps. So where they felt that they needed to add a shade kind of like in between a couple of shades, they did that as individual markers. So that's something to watch for when you're shopping for these markers. You may be able to go ahead and search out those in between shades as well. So this is where I'm going to go in with one of the tricolor brush markers. And these are just really, really beautiful to work with. You can actually, with these brush pens, do some flicking motions to get some shading in that way. And so the brush tips are gorgeous as well. You can see that I am getting into the small areas with the brush tips as well, but it is a little bit more tricky, I would say, than with the bullet tip. So I'm just going in there with that orangey color that's part of that marker, and then I'll go in and add some of the pink tones over top. And so these tricolors are really cool. We often refer to these as the ombre set. They are just a really, really beautiful pen set. And those you can purchase in the set of 24 as well. And you can get the 72 different colors in that way. And yeah, so it's just really, really fun. And I love how you can combine the alcohol markers over top of the toner foil sheets as well. So now I'm going to go ahead and add the greens in with the different leaf areas. And for this, I'm using the citrus green and the alpine green marker. And I'm actually combining those two markers together to create some light and dark variations with those two different colors of green. So really, really fun. You can see I'm just adding in a few darks, and then I'll go in with a lighter shade and blend that out. And then you can just get a really nice color variation and still get your lights and darks in that way. I'm trying not to go over top of the foil because the color will show on top of that foil. So it's good to kind of avoid the foil if you can. And now I'm just going to go in and do all of those little berry images that are part of this imagery as well. So you can see that off camera, I've done the other yellow flowers, the other orange flowers, and so on. And there you can see the finished piece. So pretty. I really love how that turned out. And that's going to be really great for a card front. So I'm going to set that aside, and now we're going to shift to coloring some critters. This is a really sweet little My Favorite Things stamp set called Monkey Around Duo. And I've stamped out some of the imagery from that stamp set just with some alcohol proof dye ink. And this is the ink I used is the Memento Tuxedo Black. And here you can just see the colors that I'm going to go ahead and use. And I'm going to start off here with the tan brown blend. And I'm going to show you a couple of different options, how you can switch things up with the blending with the different colors here with these monkeys. And so I'm just going to go ahead with the lightest shade of the tan blend. And I really like this color of brown. I think it's really perfect for these little monkeys. Just zoom you in a little bit here so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. But again, here, these are the bullet tips. And so there's some of these areas, they're just really, really super tiny. So we can get into those really small areas with the tip of that bullet tip brush. And you can see it's really easy to keep that within the lines with these bullet tips. Now I'm going in with the muted brown, and I'm going to go in with the lightest shade of that and color in the face and the tummy and the ears of the sweet little monkey. And you'll just see me there finishing up those areas again, just using those little circular motions, the little circular motion there to color in those different areas. I think I'm going to color in the bottoms of the feet with the light color, but I think I changed my mind later and then go in with a dark shade or the tan, I should say. And I did forget to color the tail, but I'll come back in and do that after. So I am going in with that lightest tan shade for the bottoms of the feet, and then the lightest shade of that muted brown for the tail. Now I'm going to use a pale pink here to color in a little bit of the pink for the ears and the cheeks, just to give them that little bit of rosy glow. And I'm going to show you here one way that you could do some shading. So at the top of the face where the brown meets the tan, or the tan meets the really light muted brown, you can go in with a little bit of the golden yellow and add a little bit of shading in that way. You also could have used the darker shade of the muted brown for shading the lightest muted brown area there as well. So either of those different colors, the golden yellow or the muted brown, would work to shade that muted brown face and tummy area for the sweet little monkey. So just showing you some different options, how you could change up your colors, use different pens for one image. Going in with that same lightest shade of the tan brown, and we're going to go ahead and add in that color to the second sweet little monkey. I love these images from MFT. They're always so sweet. And just going to go ahead and finish that up and add all of those different areas there again with those same colors that I used for the first monkey. Again, just using that muted brown for the face in the lightest shade. And I'm going to show you here how I shaded with the muted brown dark and medium on this face instead of the golden yellow. And you can just see the variation from the one monkey to the next and which you like. So, just play with your markers, see what colors you like. I usually make a little practice sheet. I will stamp out the images first on a piece of practice cardstock, and then I'll just go in and try some different colors, and I'll kind of map everything out. I'll take a pencil and I'll make sure that I write in with a pencil what colors I used to shade and so on. And then when I go to actually color my images for my project, then I've got those different little practice areas to take a look at and see what I like best for the different images. Now here I'm using the darkest tan brown to shade with, and you can see I'm laying in the shadow areas. Then I'll go in with the medium tan brown and blend that out a little bit. And then I'll finish up with the light tan brown to completely blend those areas out. So just to show you the different shadow layers you can do. And for the little monkey on the right, I didn't add any of this shading so that you can see what that looked like on that little image versus the shading on this little guy on the left, to see what you think you would like to do, what looks best to your eye, or what you would be comfortable with. So just to show you some different variations. Now I'm just going to go ahead and finish these little images off with the banana and then the little hats that they're wearing. And these will all be ready to die cut out. And there are coordinating dies for this adorable little set that you can of course, use to die cut out your little critters. So finishing off the shading on that little banana, and then I'll go in and do that sweet little hat. I'm just trying to use some coordinating colors between the two images here because I did have some colored cardstock in mind that I wanted to use to finish these off. So there you can see the two finished cards. We have the card on the left with the foiling and the card on the right just with the stamping, and just love how these cards turned out. I did use an Altenew sentiment for the card on the left, and then of course I used the coordinating sentiment with the monkey around duo to finish off that card. Friends, thank you so much for joining me. Please pop over to the blog for all of the details and links to the products that I've used, including these amazing enamel dots from Altenew. Have a wonderful day, friends. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again soon. Take care and happy crafting. Bye-bye.